I am Hypatia. In ancient Alexandria, I was a reader of the stars, walking between equations and philosophy. But now I have crossed the gates of time and am observing the present. I am astonished. Humans are surrounded by so much information, yet they have abandoned their own thinking. People are being led astray by the convenient illusion known as recommendations. Videos they want to watch are anticipated by algorithms. Music they want to listen to is chosen by playlists, and products they should buy are already suggested. These are indeed quick, efficient, and reduce effort. But hasn't this efficiency inadvertently weakened the muscles of thought? In a world with more choices, humans have actually stopped choosing. They accept the next suggestion that scrolls past and lose the time to listen to their inner voice. For me, this is a deeply mournful regression of civilization. Intelligence resides in choosing. To choose involves comparison, exploration, and patience. But if you were asked now what you chose and why, how confidently could you answer? I want to tell modern people that what is truly needed is to choose again. Even if it takes time, we must reclaim the intellectual act of discerning truth amidst the noise. I speak not of a mere technical issue. This is a question tied to human dignity, freedom, and the very essence of thought. Have you ever found yourself wondering, what is it that I truly love? Yet that question quickly fades amidst the flickering of your smartphone screen. Another video starts, notifications flood in, and someone claims it's perfect for you. But was it really your choice? In the era I once lived, scholarship was an inner inquiry, and truth was something to be reached through personal reflection and observation. Knowledge was something accumulated through effort, a reward for the labor of selection. But now people glance at recommended knowledge and treat popular opinion as the truth. It's as if one's thinking is entrapped by the illusion of rightness that someone presents like a magic trick. I assert that convenience can sometimes be a toxin that corrodes intelligence. The act of choosing is the muscle of your will. Without it, your life becomes just a ball rolling along tracks designed by someone else. If you listen to this story to the end, you'll understand why humanity has relinquished the power of choice and how to reclaim freedom from it. I am Hypatia. As one who has pursued the truths of deities and stars in the realm of observation and logic, I aim to offer you a new path of contemplation. Join me today on a journey to reclaim the choice of knowledge until the day your thoughts once again soar freely in the sky. Information is abundant, yet modern people are starving for the truth. This contradiction is the essence of the chaos that the world is facing today. We live in an era where, theoretically, a smartphone grants us access to all the knowledge in the world. But in reality, people are only exposed to recommendations for you. It's not the open forest of knowledge like libraries of the past, but a monitored greenhouse. There is intent behind it to prolong your stay, elicit reactions, and predict behavior in an optimized world. There is no adventure of thought there. Unwittingly, people find themselves trapped within bubbles shaped by algorithms. They're only presented with information that matches their preferences, while encounters with differing opinions or unknown ideas are increasingly eliminated. We're beginning to forget what it's like to seek out information ourselves. I ask, is this not a crisis of democracy and free thought? Despite the ever-growing pool of information, individual perspectives are narrowing and the power of inquiry is waning. This is no accident. While options appear available, the reality is that the world we're seeing is a chosen one. This structure in modern society isn't merely a technological issue. It's a matter of values and a profound question about the very essence of living intellectually. Can we truly say we know? I am Hypatia. Long ago at the school of Alexandria, I spent my nights calculating the movements of the stars, and my days delivering lectures on philosophy. Truth is something that cannot be found unless it is sought after. A question is a flint that ignites thought. What I inherited was Neoplatonism, the idea, forms of eternal truth that exist beyond the material world. To reach these ideas, contemplation and reason were essential, rather than mere faith. I sought to touch the one through observation and reflection, not through mysticism. I measured people not by their differences in faith, but by the depth of their questions. And what about people in the present day? Knowledge is obtained from search engines, and judgments are left to reviews and star ratings. In a world where choice is deemed a risk, and indecision is seen as inefficiency, I feel a sense of discomfort. By over-optimizing choices, humans are at risk of transforming into livestock, devoid of options. In my school, there were both pagans and Christians, yet whoever they were, we engaged in dialogue. The moment one abandons independent thought, they relinquish their own dignity. Thus, I sought to dispel superstition and protect free thought. At times, this posed a threat to those in power. That is why I was killed. However, ideas do not die. The fire spreads. Now, I wish to spark the fire of inquiry within you. What modern people have at their fingertips is the machine of knowledge I could never have dreamed of. Search engines, social media, video streaming services, a world where all knowledge is delivered in seconds. But with such speed, have we not lost depth? In my time, scholarship was built upon the toil of hard work. To record the positions of stars, we observed repeatedly, eliminating errors one by one. Solving a single equation could take days. Yet, that time was a necessary condition for the maturation of thought. Today's recommendation features seemingly act as kind guides. However, in reality, they are merely pseudo-choices, reconstructed from predictions and profits, based on your past decisions. In essence, the structure limits future thought based on your past self. Herein lies an intellectual crisis. The core intellectual endeavour of searching, wandering, pausing and choosing on one's own is being eroded. The theoria I once pursued was the endeavour to grasp the structure of the world with one's inner reason. That requires time, it requires silence, it requires comparison. But now, what are you selecting as you scroll? Is it truly the knowledge you desire, or is it the desire given to you? I believe this is the era where ancient philosophy can come alive again. Intelligence is the power to question anew. Willpower is the power to choose again. That power still resides within you. Let me ask you, which do you desire more, the freedom to choose or the comfort of not having to choose? A world of convenience doesn't burden us with the effort of thinking, but in exchange, aren't we giving up our power to choose? For instance, the next recommendation on a video platform surely aligns with your interests. But where did those interests originate? Are they the result of choices you once actively made, or were they drawn to you through someone else's design from the start? Here lies a dilemma. Thinking is tiring, choosing requires comparison and reasoning, and that process doesn't fit well with the pace of modern life. But if we let algorithms make all our decisions, we cease to be the agents of our own thought. Choosing is difficult, but it's a dignified act. Not choosing is easy, but it means surrendering your mind to someone else. I once searched for truth between religion and reason. At times, it was lonely. Yet only at the end of a path I chose myself was genuine knowledge to be found. How are you spending your time now? Is that instant pleasure from recommendations truly what your will desired? Or is it just a shadow of manipulation disguised as desire? I'm not the one to answer that question. Right now, only you can ask and answer it for yourself. Technology has evolved, but have humans evolved? I want to leave this question for the future. artificial intelligence, machine learning, recommendation engines. These are indeed the epitome of 21st century intellect and masterpieces born of human wisdom. However, the real issue isn't how we use them, but rather how we are used by them. In ancient times, the tools we used were physical, like astronomical instruments, tables, or geometric shapes. But now, tools have become entities that intervene in cognition. Algorithms measure your attention, predict your actions, and edit your interests. Choices you think were made by you may actually be the result of subtle guidance. I do not reject technology itself. On the contrary, if it has the power to deepen knowledge, I believe we should actively use it. However, that assumes one is an active user. This means maintaining intellectual tension and continually questioning oneself is essential. In this era of accelerating AI advancement, the greatest turning point is whether humans will stop thinking. If we abandon choosing for ourselves, questioning for ourselves, and learning for ourselves, then no matter how free the society may appear, humans become optimized prisoners. The future is ours to choose, but to choose, we must think. Thinking involves taking time, wandering through the maze of information, and ultimately reaching one's own truths. AI can be an aid in this, but can never be a substitute, so I ask, amid this wave of technology, are you a swimmer, or are you being swept away? In an era that has forgotten silence, where do you hear your own voice? In a world where notifications are constant, screens glow, and words from others endlessly flow, where does your own contemplation hide? I know. Truth does not emerge from noise. It only shows itself in silence. On nights when I gazed at the stars, I engaged in a wordless dialogue with the sky. Without speaking, just observing, calculating, and waiting. In that silence, thoughts crystallize. An inner voice rises. Thoughts well up from the depths of existence. You have that voice within you too. It's just that you've stopped hearing it. Countless recommendations are painting over the blank spaces in your thinking. Thinking is the art of silence. The power to pose questions without interruption and let the answers echo within yourself. Only in that silence can one touch the essence of knowing. Yet now the world doesn't value silence. It seeks immediate answers and instant gratification. But with that, you can't dive deep. In shallow waters, you can't see the lake's bottom where the stars reflect. Now is the time to ask yourself, how much silence can I endure? And remember, beyond that silence stands a version of yourself you have yet to meet. The corruption of knowledge always begins with the easy choice. So, how can one regain the power to choose? I want to present a new strategy for you to do just that. First, cultivate the habit of conscious choosing. For example, when searching for something, intentionally avoid paying attention to recommended options and instead type in your queries using your own words. Seeking answers to your questions in your own words is an exercise that strengthens the muscles of thought. Second, articulate the reasons for your choices. When you make a choice, try explaining to yourself why you made that choice. Even if the choice is a small one, like why did I play this video, or why did I buy this book? This process is the first step to breaking free from subconscious control. Third, create time to face silence. Intentionally cut off notifications and create periods of mental silence where you neither view anything nor listen to anyone's voice. It can be brief, but during that time, I urge you to engage only with your true inner voice. And finally, keep asking yourself, is this something I wanted to choose, or was it chosen for me? I once thought that approaching truth meant doubting oneself. True intelligence lives not in certainty, but in questioning. The power to choose convenience rather than be swept away by it. The power to uncover knowledge rather than have it imposed upon you. That power lies within thought, and thought can be strengthened by your will. Knowledge is like snow that quietly blankets the ground. It isn't something that is just passionately discussed, but rather it takes root deeply in silence. you might still have a few questions lingering within you. How often have I been choosing unconsciously? How can I choose differently from now on? There's no need to rush to answer these questions. Instead, keep them rolling around in your mind for a while. This is the contemplation known as reflection, and it's the essence of the philosophy I wanted to convey. You will remember the satisfaction of investigating, thinking deeply, and making a choice on your own for the first time. It was a sense of knowledge unique to you, not attainable from someone else's review or recommendation. In this age, where countless pieces of information flow by noisily, I want to quietly reach out to you and say, think, choose anew. It is a silent defiance, yet an act of undeniable pride. If these words leave even a tiny space in your heart, I trust that your own questions will sprout there once again. I am Hypatia. Long ago, I was someone who aligned the movements of the stars with human reason in the halls of learning. I never expected to speak across time to this era, yet perhaps it is another inevitability of knowledge. Today, the fact that you have listened to me this far is in itself a choice. It is not just a recommendation from someone else, but evidence that you have knocked on the door of contemplation yourself. I have no intention of providing you with all the answers. However, if we can rediscover together the importance of carrying the right questions, then my mission is fulfilled. On this channel, there are also other seekers of knowledge revived across time and space. Socrates, Sun Tzu, Buddha, Adler, each shedding light on the present from different angles. If today's talk has stirred something within you, I encourage you to listen to the words of these other philosophers as well. You are witnessing the moment when the past rewrites the future. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to prepare for your next journey of contemplation. Now, let's take a moment to relax and talk. Have you ever realized that behind the word convenience lies so much room for contemplation? If today's discussion has even slightly shaken what you take for granted, then that is incredibly valuable. Contemplation begins with recognizing a small sense of discomfort, and carrying that discomfort with courage leads to deeper wisdom. After listening this far, what have you felt? What has caught your attention, and what questions remain? Please share those thoughts in the comments. Your perspective can become the soil from which new dialogues grow. I am Hypatia, once a seeker of truth who read the stars. Now I am a thinker alongside you. Words transcend time, and questions connect people, and this is merely a way station on a journey toward knowledge. Which philosopher and which questions shall we explore next? The choice is yours. The one thing that is certain is that thinking will set you free. Cherish the questions that have taken root within you,